Most fundamental lesson that every veteran should learn is you can say no and you can quit. You can quit your job at any time. You don't have to 2 weeks notice. You can walk out for lunch and never go back. Your boss wants you to go somewhere, do something, and you don't want to do it, then say no.
Otis McGregor is a U.S. Army Special Forces veteran, leadership coach, and founder of Tribe Plus Purpose. With decades of experience leading elite teams, he now helps entrepreneurs build high-performing organizations.
You might get fired, but you know what? There's no such thing as UCMJ, so there's no such thing as a lawful order. Those two lessons taught to me by two of my former NCOs taught me that right as I was retiring.
What's up, everybody? This is Brian Van Ornum, and with Gina Marciano, we are now launching our Milpreneur Podcast, and we are so grateful to have on the show today, Otis McGregor. Otis, how are you doing today, sir?
Hey, I'm doing great. You know, I didn't see either one of you last night at the Milpreneur event, Exponential Impact, where I was the keynote speaker. I surveyed the audience, about 50, 60 folks there, veteran entrepreneurs. And you know, folks, I'm calling them out because I know Gina and Ryan, and they deserve it. I didn't see them. My heart was broken last night.
I had W-2 duties to fulfill, unfortunately. I was planning on making it, but I got a ball dropped on me last minute.
What are you talking about? I was in the hooch back at the old shop, man. I was enjoying a little. No, I'm joking. I was up at an investors club in Denver last night. I apologize. We'll be there.
Yeah, sorry about that.
You know, what I have to say isn't important. I mean,
the thing is, we are talking to a retired lieutenant colonel that has done amazing stuff. Gina, let's jump into it with him, shall we?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, if you want to just tell us a little bit about your military journey, kind of where you started. I know you retired as a lieutenant colonel, which is an amazing accomplishment. So yeah, tell us how you got there.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's truthfully the journey started my freshman year in high school when I decided that's what I wanted to do was serve our nation. I had no desire to go to a military academy because I knew how great Texas A&M University is and the Corps Cadets there. So I joined the Corps Cadets at Texas A&M so that I could go on a path to get a commission. While a cadet, I enlisted in the Texas Army National Guard, the 49th Armored Division. I was a tank driver for about a year and a half, and then I transferred to another unit and became a long-range reconnaissance scout. Old school folks know us as LRSUs. We used to do the deep stuff. Got my commission as an engineer, went to our first duty station, Fort Wainwright, Alaska, with my brand new, beautiful Texas bride. And we broke into military life and married life in Fairbanks, Alaska, just a few miles south of the Arctic Circle. Raised my hand, volunteered for SF. Spent the rest of my career as a Green Beret, running around doing things that people pay big money for, and I had a lot of fun doing it for 25 total years. I got to work with some amazing people, see some amazing things, do some amazing things, and see some shitty things. So, yeah.
What did
Can I cuss? Is that all right?
You're good. You're good.
Absolutely. In this
fucking
environment,
roll with it, buddy.
You love it when somebody asks if they can cuss after they already cussed.
Yeah.
Exactly. What did you find like that you transitioned out of the military now? What was like that mindset that you've carried over that's helped you succeed in since that transition into business world?
Well, I'm gonna jump over that first because what I did, the mistake I made was I thought after the military, all I would need is a job. And that put me on a path that I call wandering the job desert for 7 years, worked for 5 different companies, bouncing around, wondering why every time I started working for Acme Bricks and you name it, whatever company it was, why all of a sudden after about 90 days, I started to dislike it, didn't understand why, and then I'd quit. So that was a long journey, and it took 7 years to figure out what my purpose post-uniform is. And I was guided by that funny shaped ball over my shoulder, boys high school rugby, which a role that I was never planning for, but a role that's guided me to do what I am now. Because after 7 years of coaching high school rugby, I realized that as much as I loved the game and as much as I loved the boys, it was being their coach, helping, teaching, mentoring, guiding. That was really fulfilling me. And that's when I said, you know what, that's what I should be doing. Quit the last company I was working for, which actually was the ideal job for me. Chief strategy officer for a small business, headquartered in my hometown of Fort Worth. And man, it was just as frustrating in that job as it was in every other one I'd had. So when I quit, I decided that's drive and purpose is what I needed to do. And my purpose is now very clear, very refined, and what I do each and every day. And that is to create a legacy of great leaders.
I love that. So, how did your military experience kind of shape what you're doing now with your entrepreneurship?
Gave me the foundation. So all my leadership skills come from the foundation of 25 plus years leading at all levels, from a PFC to lieutenant colonel, and then leading and learning how to lead in business in different environments and different cultures, both in uniform and when I retired. The other thing that I did that the military gave me was the way to think, the way to solve problems, the way to not just lead, but identify a problem, define it, dissect it, put together a plan to solve that problem, and then execute that plan, solving that problem. I did that. I taught, and I talk about this all the time, the military decision-making process and the 5-paragraph field order. There is no better process. There is no better planning tool or guide ever invented. And I know because I taught both of those at a graduate level, and I've also taught project management. And all I've ever done when I taught at the graduate level, a master's level program called Planning and Program Development, I took the MDMP and I translated it into civilian speak, because that's how my mind works. That's how I think. That's the way I do it. I translated that, taught that. My students loved it. When I was teaching project management, it was the same thing. Taught that, taught them how to do it, taught them how to put plans together. And there was nothing more than a 5-paragraph field order. Situation, mission, execution, administration and logistics, command and signal. That's it. Simple. Too many veterans overcomplicate, overthink it, and they go on to Google business plan, and then they try to take the MDMP that they have ingrained in their head, and the 5-paragraph field order that they have ingrained in their head, and they try to write this thing that's foreign to them that doesn't make any sense, as opposed to, dude, just do what you know. And then when somebody doesn't want it in that format, just translate it. My favorite example analogy is an L-shaped ambush. I learned how to do an L-shaped ambush in Georgia, the state of, not the country.
Not the country.
But I've also taught it in the country of.
Wow.
Georgia. So, it's the same thing. It's an L-shaped ambush, but I have to translate the language, maybe translate different tools. It's not an M4, it's an AK, whatever those things are. It's all the same. It's still the fundamentals.
That's really profound. And then one of the things that I'm thinking about as you've made this transition is, like, have you had to unlearn anything from the military to get yourself to a position where you're thriving back in the civilian sector?
Yeah, the biggest thing that you have to unlearn is you no longer have a purpose issued to you. You have to make all your own decisions. You have to create your own routines, your own processes. You have to adapt to a different culture, all these things, which actually, in retrospect, I didn't have to learn that, because that was part of being a Green Beret, adapting to cultures. But some guys, I've met plenty of veterans, just like, dude, man, this ain't a platoon or a squad of Marines.
Right.
You got to bring it back down, change how you say things, change the words you use, and all those sort of things. But yeah, that was probably the biggest thing. Is it's my choice what I do, when I do it, how I do it. Even when I was working for another company, it was still my choice, because The other thing I teach, one of my give backs is coaching and mentoring soon to be veterans, guys that are taking the uniform off. And I think the most fundamental lesson that every veteran should learn, or soon to be veteran should learn, is you can say no and you can quit. You can quit your job at any time. You don't have to give 2 weeks notice. You can walk out for lunch and never go back. And you know what? The sheriff ain't coming to arrest you for being able. Number two, you can say no. Your boss wants you to go somewhere or do something and you don't want to do it, then say no. You might get fired, but you know what? There's no such thing as UCMJ. So there's no such thing as a lawful order. Those two things right there. I mean, quite frankly, I believe those two lessons taught to me by two of my former NCOs who had been retired for several years, taught me that right as I was retiring. Those two things kept me from being a mouth-breathing oxygen thief.
I love that. That's great. I love the fact that you're helping veterans before they actually separate, because I know for myself and a lot of other veterans that I speak with, that's just the hardest thing that they have to endure, is because now, like you said, they're really indecisive with a lot of things, because they're like, man, now I can choose all of these things, that all the decisions that were made for me before. So it's really tough, especially to change that mindset. You're going from a 9 to 5. Do you go and be an entrepreneur and start a business? Do you just go and work another 9 to 5? So before you separated, though, if you could go back to that day that you separated, or right around that time, is there one thing in particular that maybe you would do different?
Well, none of the programs that exist now were around when I retired. The only thing that we had was the required TAPS program that you did at the base. You know, knowing what I know now, the only thing and truthfully, I wouldn't do anything, because that's how I got here to where I am. I'm pretty damn happy with who and where I am today.
Yeah.
Would things be different if I had understood what purpose is and why I worked for this company and didn't like it, then worked for that company and didn't like it, then worked for, yeah, that might have resolve some things, but would I do any of it different? No.
Okay, that's awesome.
There's the what if.
Yeah.
There's a lot of, what if I had, during this situation at this decision point, had said go A instead of B. In fact, I was talking with a guy last night after my talk about Alice in Wonderland and the Cheshire Cat. When Alice got up to the Cheshire Cat and there was two roads, a fork in the road or something like that. I'm not telling it really well because I can't remember exactly. I'll share the stoic way of doing it. The Cheshire Cat, she asked the cat, which road should I take? And he said, well, which road do you want? Where do you want to go? And she said, I don't know. He said, and then it doesn't matter. And that was what I did when I got out of the military. I didn't have a path. And stoicism, and I can't remember which stoic, we'll say Seneca said this, that a ship that has no port, no wind is favorable, right? I mean, if you don't know where you're going, then nowhere is good, nowhere is successful, and everywhere is what it is, right? So you got to have a plan.
That's awesome right there, man. So we're going to transition real quick. We're going to do some rapid fire stuff. I'm going to call this the coin check time, okay? So I got my coin. We're checking it. By the way, where's yours?
Big Sarge.
Where's yours? Where's yours? Throw your coins up.
I don't have my purse next to me.
Hey, not my problem. You're buying.
Let me see if I've got one in my drawer.
Wait, you got coin checks.
All right. I guess I'm getting the next round.
Oh, there it is. My man came through. Came through.
You guys really got me.
Awesome. All right, you ready for some rapid fire questions? All right, here we go.
Seriously asking me? Yes.
Yes. Here we go. What's your go-to coffee or energy drink?
Coffee is the energy drink.
All right. Early black. All right, cool. Early riser or night owl?
I got wake up early disease, man. I'm always up at about 4 o'clock in the morning.
That's what I'm talking about. Last book that you read.
What the hell's the name of that book? Well, Great by Choice. And right now I'm also going through Linchpin by Seth Godin.
Oh, love it. The civilian phrase that still doesn't sit right with you right now.
I don't know. I forget it.
It's all good.
Why waste energy on something that doesn't sit with me?
I love that.
Fair. Favorite piece of like military gear that you ever owned? Like, did you have a favorite knife?
Yeah, I still got it. here in my pocket right now. I mean,
Ooh.
but it wasn't military. It was mine. That's my knife.
Oh, I love it.
Had that thing for 20 years, 20 plus years.
Now, this one's kind of a trick question because I kind of know, but what's one veteran-owned business that everyone should know about?
Besides mine.
I was going to say, so yours, right?
Besides Ryan's.
What's yours?
Mine, Tribe and Purpose.
Yeah, I love it.
What's your favorite way to decompress after a long day?
Have a glass of whiskey and a cigar.
That's what I did
last night after that keynote. That you two weren't there.
Gotta keep
Mac was there. Mac was there.
Yeah.
Oh, man, I love it.
I know I was supposed to be there. That's
Last thing is one word your teammates or your clients would describe you.
One word
or one phrase.
Good listener.
Love it.
Deep listener. I've heard that too.
Well, you made it through the coin check phase, man. Great job. Great job on that.
When's my beer getting here there, Gina? Ain't nobody pulling up in the driveway yet, lady.
So where can listeners find you online or learn more about what you do and everything that you've got with Tribe and Purpose and your litter?
Yeah. So check us out. Our YouTube channel is 10X Your Team. Yeah, that's where our podcast is. That's where my whiskey words are. That's also where our monthly master class is. I just did one Wednesday. So a new one called this one was on the leadership gap. You can also find me on LinkedIn, and from LinkedIn, you can connect to my other businesses, the Pocket Litter, get more information about Tribe and Purpose, and go to our website called 10X Your Team. And if you're a dude and you want to learn how to lead better, you can apply to join our Steel Men Tribe also.
Man, love everything that you got going on. So much. So just a plethora of resources and an amazing man. Love being able to share time with you. Thank you so much for coming on the Milpreneur Podcast. Appreciate you, retired Lieutenant Colonel Otis McGregor. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you so much. And thanks for your service and your time.
Hey, thanks for y'all's service and thanks for the opportunity. And I'll throw this back at you because, again, you ain't getting slack from me. Y'all know that. I have a sundry, not a plethora, a various sundry.
A sundry, my man.
I can't ask me that's been in my head for years.
I can't even spell a sundry.
Well, I didn't. That's why I'm talking. It ain't right.
Awesome. Thank you so much, man. Appreciate your time today. Have a wonderful day.
Yeah, thank you.